Hey, welcome to another video from the Outdoor Analyst. Guys, I've got a fun one for you. This is going to be my favorite Bark River knives of the year. I'm always the guy that I've given Bark River hell this year because I've received some horrible knives and some horrible things back from a few of the owner and then another one of their main managers as well for receiving, well, let's just say the worst folder I've ever had in my entire life. That pushed aside, good luck to everyone who gets one of those. I hope they figure those out. But I still do enjoy their fixed blades. We all know they're not perfect. They all have a lot of quality control issues these days, but they are getting better on their water jetting. So I think they picked up a new company for that. That's exciting. That means maybe there's a chance they could get back to their old quality control where they actually looked at knives. Now, most of these are a mix of old, some are new, and that's kind of what makes it exciting. I like a lot of the older designs. I think some of them are absolutely classic. And I brought out 10 today of my favorite knives that I've used this year and that I've used really throughout, probably a decade here. So here's just a few. I'm going to start off probably with my not least favorite, but what gets me the most excited. These aren't all just the new knives that Bark River comes out with. I think that's ridiculous, but they do runs of knives, and I think these are the ones that if I had a chance to go restart the collection again, these would be the runs I'd be looking for, either from older knives or newer runs that are coming out. So here we go, number 10. This one is not very popular, and it is the Mountaineer 2. This is a small fixed blade knife that I just take to work with me all the time. Almost every, I mean, it's been in my bag constantly this year. Just constantly doing food processing and just meat and scrumptiousness. CPM Crewwear is super tough. This knife is just big enough to be a full hammer grip for me. And it is very, very tough. If I need to go pry on something, this is always going to be in my vehicle because it's going to be in my work bag, which is great. It's a very comfortable knife. If I need to do, wood processing, I can. Food processing, it's great. If I need to field dress, this thing is going to be perfect for it. It's a small, beautiful knife. Very thick, very chunky. This is also pretty heavy. And yeah, first production run. This is just a really cool EDC bag knife. It's a very small belt knife. You can use this in the pocket. It is possible the sheath just kind of pushes the limit for me as far as being a pocket knife, but it is doable. Awesome knife. The Mountaineer 2, knocking the camera, is pretty fantastic. Big fan of it. Not a newer knife for me. I've had this, the Bushcraft Scout, for a long time, but this is a newer version. I've had the first original version. This is MagnaCut, and it is a super thin, slicey, small belt knife. And this one, the handle just fits me so much better than my other Bushcraft Scout, and I really love this knife. I really do. This one, the finishing was halfway decent. Not perfect, but pretty decent. And it's just been a really nice knife to have around. They did a ridiculous deal at DLT Trading with this knife, and I had some extra points. I mean, this was like 150, and it is excellent. This is a knife that hopefully with MagnaCut, this thing will last forever. I'll never have to worry about it. Man, it's just been great. It's a super slicey knife. So for food prep, for a little bit of camp work, it rocks. Absolutely rocks. One of my favorite little belt knives. Now, this is going to be an older one. They don't do a lot of runs of this, and honestly, the runs were very iffy, but I found one that I really enjoyed. This is going to be, oh gosh, what is this? Not the Trailmate 3. What did they call it? Oh, the Highwayman 3, that's what it was. This is a great knife. I've used this for tree processing, for firewood, a lot over the years. It's a light, large belt knife, and this was one of the thicker ones with a thicker tip on it that I received. Boy, are there some interesting runs where this tip gets so thin you almost don't think you could use it for anything. So be careful, be warned, but this one I really like. You get like a 9-inch blade of A2, very tough, very awesome, just woods knife, really. I mean, just go out there clearing trails. I really enjoy this. It's not super heavy for a big knife. and it's a beast. It's great at splitting, great at chopping. It's not a massive chopper, but for what I do, I mean, we're just, you know, clearing trails and stuff. It's great, absolutely great. So I love this knife. I highly suggest them. They do another run, and you like the bigger Bowies, but not a super, super heavy Bowie, yeah, give that one a look. Give that one a look for sure. This has been kind of a, I'm not going to call it classic, one of their newer classics. The Cub. I really do enjoy the Cub. It's a blade length that I've always been kind of in between for me, but I'm starting to really kind of enjoy that 5-ish inch blade. It allows you just to do a little more camp work, and for me, a little more woodwork. It kind of makes it more of a, I guess, a log splitty knife. A little bit. I can do more fire prep and a little more serious fire prep, you know, around the home, the fireplace, that sort of thing. And it's a really good knife. Good feather sticker, good splitter, cool design. You know, obviously this was a ripoff of Peter Kohler's, was it the Grizzly back in the day? Cool knife. This is just a smaller version of it. And it is nice. It is really, really nice. I gotta say, I got it in buffalo horn because I took a buffalo a few years ago, and I just thought, it's just really cool. Really cool, I don't know, just tribute. And I do like the Cub. It's a great knife. If you're looking for that kind of 5-inch do-it-all sort of camp knife, great at a lot of things, not awesome at anything, because that's just every knife in this range, essentially. It's a good one to have. Very good one to have. Whoa, man, knocking cameras all around today. Another one that gets me excited, you know, did some cool field dressing with this, and you know, I can't get over the memories of, you know, field dressing a black buck. So cool. This is my black buck knife, and yes, it has had a reprofiled tip. It snapped off. It's Cruwear, and I know it's not great, but man, is it freaking sharp up there. It really is. I still love the EXT2. This is just a beautiful looking knife. Yeah, even though it's a little more boat shaped now, that's for sure. It's still sweet. Not much of a tip to it anymore, but still doable. And for everything I need it to do, it's gonna be just perfect. So this knife really just fits me like a glove. The sheep horn, it's hard to get any sort of like natural material like this to fit your hand really well because they can't really shape it. So you just kind of have to try a bunch, see what works. This one just does fit my hand like a glove. And man, it's cool. And I've got some awesome memories, just some beautiful memories tied to this. One of the hardest hunts I've been on, and successful. And that's just really exciting. So yeah, sheep horn, it's held up really well. It's been in some ridiculous, I'd say, weather conditions. And yeah, it's still doing great. Still doing great. Still love this knife. What a cool adventure knife. Good field skinner. A little bit bigger for field dressing than I'd normally say, but still works well. Ooh, where do I go from here? I think I'm gonna do this one. This is called the Tundra. I think that's what it's called. I love this knife. This is just Canadian field, Canadian blade on there. Really good handle. It's just really awesome. It's just I think a souped up Aurora handle with a Canadian blade on there. The Tundra is really awesome. This knife is super ergonomic for me. It is just an all-around camp knife of awesomeness. It is great for woodwork. It is good for actual, really just food prep for camp. I love this knife. It's not much more to say besides this is a really great design all around. For my hand size, large to XL, it just crushes. It just is super ergonomic, and I love the thinner sheath on this. It's easier just to pack around. Not a whole lot of extra space, not a whole lot of extra stuff to mess with. So really cool package. Man, this is just a good all-around camp knife, and I think it's one of the best. Now, this knife just kicks butt at field dressing. There's just no other way around. This is the Gunny Hunter CPM 154. Got it all cleaned up from field dressing this year. Man, is it good. It's just good. It's just perfect for field dressing. That's what it's meant for. Please just get one. If you're doing that sort of thing, you're field dressing, you're going out there, this knife just rocks. It really does. Super ergonomic. It is small, and that's what I like it for. It's not a huge knife. It's very controllable. The Coke bottle shape is very good for field dressing. For me, I think you get a lot of good grip on it because you have some contouring there, different places to get a hold of it. And that helps when it's freaking cold. I mean, I don't know where you live, but man, we're field dressing. It's always usually around freezing or below. And it is nice to have a knife that you know you have a solid grip on. So really good knife. This one is in CPM 154. I wish it was in MagnaCut. Did that make a difference? Heck no. No, did I have any issues with stainlessness with this? Nope, not at all. Do I still think it'd be cool to be in MagnaCut just to be a little bit tougher, a little more stain resistant? Yeah, for sure. Just because I know that I'm lazy when it comes to field dressing and stuff just needs cleaned up, and it happens way later. But incredible knife. So good in the field. Gives me the fizz. It's something that just comes with me. You know, it's worked on a buffalo, crushed a whitetail this year. Man, it's just so good. All right, getting down to my top 3 here. And it goes a little bit back to nostalgia and use. This Shining Mountain Bowie has just really done work for me over the years. Just absolute work. And it has held up incredibly well. Now, I got this on one of the special insider sales. And I got it for cheap because it was cracked. Yeah, there's a little bit of a crack in here. That's fine. Did I know it at the time? No, that probably wouldn't have bought it. I'm glad I didn't know it because this is just a beautiful knife. This thing has held up well, taken incredible amounts of impact very, very well. No chipping on the blade. A2 is a great chopping knife. It is a great splitter. It is a great steel for it. It really is. I love A2 for just impact. Never had any problem with it springing back. It springs back very, very well, especially for crazy twisted knotted work. And man, clearing trails, it's a lot heavier than the Highwayman 3. I've said this for years. This is a heavy knife, but if you're gonna be doing heavy work, man, it is hard to beat this Bowie. It really is. This is a beautiful shape. This is the Inglourious Basterds knife. It's the same one they used. They rehandled it in some sweet bone for Brad Pitt. But man, or is it sheep? Something like that. Either way, it's really cool. But I highly suggest them. They do another run, pick one up. You won't be disappointed. It's probably my favorite barge fixed blade of all time. That is saying something. All right, knife number 2. Pull out the corncob pipe a little more. It's just nostalgia. This is one of the first bushcrafters I ever had. This is just an old school bushcrafter in corncob. And it's just, you know, it's homely. It's homey. Reminds me of home. It's a beautiful, beautiful corncob handle. And it's not the best blade shape. A Scandi Vex is not brilliant. I don't know why it's not. Just because a regular convex does all you really need if you're going to be doing that. And a true Scandi does Scandi things better. But overall, it's a good middle of the road knife. It's kind of like the Bark River Cub. Good at a lot of things, not great at anything. That's this knife. But this knife has been with me, and I've been on so many hunting trips. It's just done such a great job over the years. I love it. It's ergonomic. I like the old school version. It's not Coke bottled. It's just white at the back and tapers down. Super comfy, super beautiful little bushcrafty knife. I like the old version. I really do. And this version, or in this case, it's just so good. So good. So yeah, bushcrafter. It's come back. It's back on the list, and it's high up there this year because you know, nostalgia, man. And the number 1 Bark River of the year. Yeah, hands down, really. This has been a good adventure knife for me. This is going to be the EXT2 Hunter. This is going to be a DLT special. This was something that was thought up by Jason Thorne, and man, it's just a great design. Very Bowie-esque, kind of a tactical belt knife. I love it. Do I really see this as a hunting knife? I don't. I've taken a lot of kayaking trips. It's done really well for me. It's great for the camp. It's just beautiful. Just a beautiful knife. I love the pine cone. Gives me the fizz when I pull it out. I've enjoyed using this. and it's been, you know, through some cool memories this year with me. So very fun knife. Really excited to put some more memories on this knife. Do some cool adventures with it. I don't really plan on taking it hunting. It's just, you know, gonna be more of that fun camp, backpacking, day tripper sort of knife. So yeah, CPM 3V. Yet again, if this was in MagnaCut, I would even love it more. It'd be super cool if they did a run. I would definitely pick up another one. But yeah, great knife, nice and tough. And that's kind of what I like for adventure knives. It's very tough, and I kind of have to worry about it. If anything, I have to worry about the handle material cracking, just because it's resin. So, you know, not the super hardest thing in the world out there. So I'm not taking this on any like serious life and death adventures, but for the fun stuff, for the day trips, it's an awesome knife. So there we go. That's my top 10 this year. I've enjoyed these Bark Rivers. I've had pretty good luck with quality control. Yet again, get some old ones. They're usually really good. And the new ones are getting better. They are. Hoping they continue. Still hear a lot of nightmares. The comment section is always a lot of people are having issues with Bark Rivers. And that's because I think they're getting some of the not super old ones. They're just kind of in between where the quality control is pretty rough. So just know, you know, it's a 50-50 what you're going to get. You never really know. Kind of makes it more exciting. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a blast making this video. If you like this content, like kind of hanging out, come back, like, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Throw comments in. Hey, what's your top 10 this year? Were there some new ones that really worked with you? I'll tell you, there's some that I had that did not work with me. Quite a few that I just, you know, I had to ship out really fast. They just were not fun. But yeah, that's with every knife brand. Nothing fits everybody. But these are my favorites from them. They're kind of sticking around. They've been trusty companions. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll check you on the next one. And have a Merry Christmas.